everyone, it's Holly and I am the maker here at Missouri River Soap. In this video today, I am making Mountain Huckleberry soap. Now, huckleberry is such a nostalgic scent. I love this scent flavor. It's so huge up in, the Northwest. I know it's big in the Northeast and such too, but it's really big here in Montana and that's what I'm going off of. And I just love it. I love huckleberry coffee. I love huckleberry lip balm. I love huckleberry everything. In fact, one of my favorite pies is made at, I think it's called Lola's in Whitefish, and it is a huckleberry pie. So good. So I've actually made this soap, but I haven't cut it yet. And I just think it has turned out so good. Get a loaf here to show you. Isn't that pretty? I'm quite loving how the colors turned out. It's not really your traditional huckleberry, just all the purples soap, but I wanted to do something fun and just a little bit different, and this is what I was inspired to do. So you can find my products at MoRiverSoap.com. On Instagram, I'm Mo River Soap, and on Facebook, I am Missouri River Soap. Now, the timing of these videos do not have anything necessarily to do with when my products are going to be released. So I always ask that you go ahead and check out the website, follow along on social media. Definitely check out the description box below because I do try to put good information down there. And then finally, sign up for my email on the website, MoRiverSoap.com, and that way you'll be notified of new releases, odds and extras, etc. All right, I'm gonna gear up to cut this soap, but I'll show you the making first. So I'll see you back here in a bit. So the first thing is in with the lusciously creamy coconut milk. I just love this coconut milk. It was all fluid today, not solidified, which was really nice to work with. And it's just so incredibly creamy. I love it. I have the window open and I'm gonna try to get away with that, but if the building gets loud or the dogs get cranky, I will have to close that. And in with the lye solution. I noticed that now that it's warmer, I don't have as much lye lint as I was there for a while. Temperature just really does affect lye and lye lint and like ash that we get on soap. Just a lot of it has to do with temperature. So I'm going to blend this just to a light trace, hopefully. Maybe emulsification. It doesn't take much on these smaller batches because this stick blender is rather strong. I used to use it with a long shaft for 400 ounce batches, and this is only 140. But I still love it. And there's a link to it in the description. It's a hard one to find. I've had some people say the link doesn't work for them. Every time I click on it, copy and paste it, whatever, it always goes right to it. I'm splitting this one up into 4 different colors. I will pour at 1 liter first. I never remember what my lines are for each of these batches. I should make myself a chart and just keep that accessible. It's a beautiful day in Montana today. Sun is shining. It's a little cloudy now, but mostly the sun's shining. It's about 60 degrees. And it feels oh so good. All right, we'll take it to the 1.25 marker. And we're gonna go a little bit more. So I'm about halfway between 1.25 and 1.5 liters. I was having such a hard time figuring out what I wanted to do for this batch, and then I was inspired by my knitting. So this is kind of a limey green color, and they're micas mixed with my batch oils. This one is, well, what would you call that color exactly? Is it a burgundy? A maroon? Fuchsia? I'll have to look that up. I don't really know. All of these are mixtures. I've mixed a lot of different colors for these today. Anyway, I had my yarn hank up on my, what is that spinner dealio called, where you cake, it spins and then you cake it up on the ball winder dealio, the hank of yarn to a cake. Anyway, it wasn't just these 4 colors, but as it was just, the yarn was just spinning round and round and round. I saw purple and like a dark blue, a lime green, and this dark pink, and I was like, I actually love that. So this one here was a mixture of a few different colors. It's just kind of a lighter purple. And then this one here, I probably should have shown it to you in the cup. This one is kind of a dark purple, bluish. Actually, it's about the perfect ripe huckleberry color. So as I was seeing that just spin around, I saw these 4 colors and I was like, that's perfect. That's what I need to do for my huckleberry soap, because I was really conflicted. I was really trying to figure that out. Wasn't having any luck. So then I've just been pondering and pondering. What design was I going to do? So I'm going to do a somewhat trickier pour, and we'll just see how that goes. I did mix some dark color into this one as well, so that it would be, so this, that's a loud bird. Do you see those sparkles? I put in some of this Space Walk. I happened to get it from Candle Science at the time, but it's a Mad Micas. And look at it. It is just so pretty. It is just so sparkly. I love that. Now I have done a huckleberry in so many different ways. I've made it kind of look like a milkshake. Huckleberry milkshakes are huge up here. Huckleberry in general is just huge, but in most mountain states, you know, northern states tend to be big on the huckleberry. But I've done them kind of look like a milkshake. I've done huckleberry fluff, which is rainbow with fluffy like white topping, soap topping on it. And I've done pastels. I've just done it a lot of different ways. Oh, and this also actually looks like an image when you search huckleberries. So that's great. Oh my goodness, I love this. So now I'm going to put in the fragrance oil. And to my knowledge of past batches, this works very nicely. And I did go back and read reviews just to confirm. And these colors, if they blend a little bit, I'm not too concerned about it. Now I don't want the pink and the green to blend a whole lot, but I'm okay with like the green and the purple. I kind of looked at Nurture Soap's color blender to see what I would get if they did start mixing. So I want to give these just a little bit of a blend. And go down here to the dark one. That'll hide some of that green if it mixed in noticeably. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour them both into a cup and let them kind of blend a little bit. I think I'll leave what's in here. Let's see. Let's get some of it out so that I can add a bit to the top if I want. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's so pretty. So huckleberries are usually hidden away up in the mountains. They're very expensive because they're not just super attainable. And the joke slash not joke is that you have to fight the bears. And if you find a patch, it's very possible that you're in a bear zone. So you better watch your back. So look how pretty these are. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. Alright. So I just did this with my Breve unscented soap. And I learned that I was a little heavier on the pour. Oh boy. Let's see. What am I going to do? I'm a little heavier on the pour on my right hand. So what I'm going to do is get some in and get the weight off. Now, I know that this isn't your typical huckleberry, but you know what? I wanted to do something different. I wanted it to be my own. And see, I am definitely a little bit heavier on the right. So I'm going to do that. I probably did need to move my mold around, but we did. I did. Are you here for moral support? Alright, so I was trying to get these to mix up a little bit, but that's not really happening. So we're just going to do that. And these colors are rather complementary. Look at that. It's so pretty. I probably should not have saved that extra. I think just so I don't have to do all the extra scraping on the top, I'm just going to go ahead and put these into their sides. So I think I actually put the purples in the wrong slot, but oh well, it'll be fine. So I'm just kind of getting their colors off of this side, and then I'm just going to do a drizzle for now. I don't want to mix them up too much. So far, to my eyeballs, this is looking so good. So it used to be that when I would, there's a saw going, I'm sorry. It used to be that when I did a double pour like that, I was just going into a single mold. So the colors did blend up together. So I did close the window because that was some intense sawing. So I don't know if I mentioned it, but they're starting on the stairs to the upstairs. So they're having to build the landing and all the things. So I'm kind of, for right now, just kind of dipping my spoon down in and causing a hint of a swirly. And I think I'm going to stop right there. So look at that. Isn't that so pretty? I am in love with how this turned out. And I cannot, I'm getting a little shaky, hold on. I cannot wait to see what this is going to look like. So I'm going to spritz this with 91% alcohol. I'm going to cover it, and I am probably going to just leave this be for 2 to 3 days. It needs at least 24 hours to solidify and saponify and do its thing, but I have found that if I wait 2 to 3 days that I have better luck with ash and such. So not always, but most of the time. So that's what I'm going to do. So I will see you back here for the cut. All right, so let's cut into this huckleberry soap. And I do have some like color modeling. It's mostly, I mean, some of the dark purple has it as well, but it's mostly noticeable in the lighter purple. And that happens sometimes, especially when you can't stir as you're pouring, because obviously the colors were together and I couldn't stir them. But it is going to be great and fine, and I'm very excited to see what the swirl inside of this one is. It smells amazing. It's definitely an interesting modeling to this lighter purple. It's kind of funny, really. I could have done without that. The green, I don't even see it in the green at all. I don't know, but it's still kind of a cool look. Look at that bar, isn't that fun? I love how that green turned out. The greenish yellow blend kind of turned out a bit on the neon side. Is this the right one? Yep, I think so. Let's see. It actually worked on both sides on my side for the most part. So this is a really fun one. I would probably try to improve upon it next time. But I do like the swirl. That's a neat swirl that we ended up getting on that, huh? I like that. That's a really neat swirl. Fun. Oh, I left my sample piece there. My end cut slash sample pieces. I'm having fun making these smaller batches. I'm not quite as invested in a batch like this. It's like, oh, I can easily do something different. Oh my goodness, that's neat. Look. I love that so much. I'm seeing eyes in the reflection, but I'm not sure if I could. It doesn't really look like it when I look at it directly, but in the little monitor doodad there, it looks kind of like eyes. Ha! That's so cool. That's really neat. I think that is a fun swirl for these soaps. They smell so very good. What am I doing? Okay, let's get rid of our little sample. I didn't really get too much. Oh my. I didn't really get too much of muddiness or anything. There's a few spots like down here that, you know, we could say, oh, that's getting a little bit weird, but that's pretty good for the most part. I like that. Oh my goodness. I really like this. That is a great swirl. Woohoo. That's good stuff. So this may not be my all-time design for Mountain Huckleberry, but I'm glad I did this one and gave it a try. I think it looks cooler because it doesn't have a lot of that lighter purple that has the mottled texture look. It's not really a texture, but it's just a little mottled. Oh, I like the top of this bar. And then look. It's so unique. That one is so different. Did I do that right? I think I did. Okay, so here we have the Mountain Huckleberry soap. And I just think it turned out so cool. Little room for improvement, but it turned out great. And it's going to be a wonderful soap. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check the description box for more information about where you can find me on social media, my website, and all the things. I will chat with you later. Bye.